And welcome to another episode of Travels with Brett. Today we are in Iceland, and we are visiting the capital city of Iceland, Djúpivogur. A population of about 42 million people live here in this very small, unassuming village. But again, like the Faroe Islands, most people live underground because they are afraid of sunlight and contact with other human beings. Over here in the center of downtown Reykjavik, you can see the national forest at the distance. 6 or 7 trees comprise a forest in Iceland. This one happens to be the national forest where the Prime Minister lives in a cave. When she is often alone, thinking about what to do for the laws, she wears a diaper and feeds on this specific type of grass. As you can see here, it's called hakkafiot. Hakkafiot is very toxic, but when you're the Prime Minister, you're allowed to eat it, and it's not supposed to poison you. Here we are at the National Fountain of Iceland, sister fountain just behind us. Feel free to touch the water. Sometimes it can be boiling, but that's okay. They have good health care in Iceland if you burn your hand. The significance of it, quite apparent. You can tell by the slimy gook that this place brings a lot of energy and vitality out of the ground. Iceland people are strong believers in natural healing. And if you were to eat this moss, this slimy moss, on a salad or maybe in a protein shake, you'll feel very good, vigorous for the rest of the day. Here we can see yet another national monument. This one's a real special treasure. It was given to the people of Iceland by an Albanian king about 60 years ago, using the finest available instruments in that great country to build this treasure. You can see that the stainless steel screws, top-notch construction. This, what looks like mucky mire, is actually the hair of the finest princes of Albania, cut, shorn, and then attached to this fountain made out of pure gold. There's a small little pool up here that we're going to visit. It's top secret, according to several websites that have published its location. It used to be that just locals came here and enjoyed the waters, but now you can find just about every nationality somehow finding out about it, even though it's hidden behind a rock off the side of the road. All you bloggers out there who think it's fun to post top secret spots so that you can have the inside information and maybe get 5 more views on your YouTube channel, go fuck yourself. This is top secret stuff and it should stay that way. Just because you found it doesn't mean you need to share it with the world. With tens of thousands of cold water springs in Iceland, they're world famous. And now we're going to try a dip in one to see what it's like. I'm a bit nervous, but they say, according to local legend, there's curative properties by going in a cold water spring, particularly when you have a cold. And the moment I have suffering from the flu. So to go in a cold water tank doesn't sound like the greatest idea, but I take tradition over medical science any day, and we should go check it out. So I'm about to get in this really cold water plunge tank that they make here throughout Iceland. During the winter months, people get in cold water baths to improve circulation because cold air can be bad for the circulatory system, but cold water is really good, especially if you jump in quickly and shock the system. This is an old clam baking tank, which was part of a secret recipe for clam porridge, one of the national dishes in Iceland. So it has a bit of a funky smell, but it's very authentic. Now we'll try to get into the cold water now and see what it feels like. 1, 2, 3. Ah! God, Jesus. Okay. Cool. This is bad. Well, I think I can feel my heart starting to skip. But that, according to the locals, is actually good for your blood. Shit. Okay. Water tank just outside of Djúpivogur. Here it is. It's beautiful, and I'll give you the coordinates because, well, it's a bit hard to find. It's at 65 degrees, 22 minutes, 38 seconds north, and then at 12 degrees, 14 minutes, 22 seconds west. That's the exact position. You can see the architecture of such a beautiful structure. Again, a donation by the Albanian king using the finest building materials that one can find just outside of Tirana, the capital of Albania. This, although it looks like old rotten wood, is actually solid pearl, and the tank is constructed from the bones of enemies, usually Greeks or Italians who have tried to invade Albanian lands. I'm going to take another cold water dip here, and we'll see you soon. According to that great American poet Robert Frost, you should always take the road less traveled, which is why when you're in the landscape of Iceland, it's advisable to go off trail and tramp on all the moss and lichens that you can find, because probably no one else has walked on them yet. If you want to really make a difference in this world and do something unique, you should violate the landscape of this precious planet that we have, starting in Iceland. After a long day of hiking here in Iceland, we've reached the tallest point in all of the country, 16,000 meters above sea level. The oxygen is thin here, but the legends are not. In fact, some of the greatest battles that Iceland has ever fought against its many nemesises have been right here at this point, which is why today this beautiful monument, constructed by Yoko Ono, was donated to the continent and its great countrymen of times past from many years ago. Iceland has a lot of beautiful black sand beaches. These are made from big tanks of oil getting burned along the shoreline to warm the overall temperature of the ocean, which is a big issue in today's day and age, to try to raise ocean temperatures. So Iceland's doing its part by burning everything around its periphery, creating these black sand beaches which make for nice warm swims. Okay, about to take a good old-fashioned Iceland swim. After all, they warm the waters with the sludge and oil they pour in here and then burn along the shores to kill all the fish. So we're going to put on our Iceland swimming hat and go for a nice swim into the sea. So warm. Oh, you could stay in here for hours. It's like a bath in your mother's milk. You really wouldn't think that it would be this warm, considering there's ice just behind me out of the frame of this photograph. But that's all just smoke and mirrors. It's really warm, beautiful water here, and if you ever get a chance to swim in this toxic sludge oil bath of Iceland water, you should do it. It's refreshing, and yet at the same time, very warm, cuddly. I get the same feeling now that I had when I first slipped out of my mother's worn out sweat sock of a vagina.